Okay, year 9, burgers. You'll need a small onion, white or red, some lean beef or minced steak, some cheddar cheese and some breadcrumbs, which we'll have in school for you. Equipment, mixing bowl, grater, baking tray with greaseproof on, and salt and pepper and a sharp knife, obviously a chopping board. Okay, so let's make a start. We'll make a start with the onion. This is one I used earlier today, so I'm going to finish it off. So I'm just going to cut it in half so it's easier to handle. I've cut it in half through the root because the root was still intact. Taking the outer layer of the peel off, and then I'm going to very, very finely slice this. Make sure the root is on, that holds it together. If you're not confident doing very fine slices, then you can always grate the onion, or if you don't like onion, you can leave it out altogether. It just adds flavour. So I'm doing very small incisions in the lines going from the root to the edge of the onion, and then I'm going to use the claw, and I'm doing some very fine cuts across the lined cuts that I've put in. Okay, so I'm going to put that into the bowl. And maybe a little bit more onion on that, and then to this I'm then going to add my minced beef. Okay, now this is a high risk food. It should be kept in the fridge before you use it. Once you've used it and you've had your hands in there, you need to handle before you start handling anything else. You need to make sure you clean your hands, and when you've emptied the packet with the mince in, throw it away. Put it in one of the bins in the kitchen, all right, and then it's out of the way. To this, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. Now, we have the breadcrumbs in school, so you don't need to bring those in. And then I'm going to put some salt and pepper in. I obviously have these grinders at home, and some salt. And then I'm going to grate in the cheddar cheese. And again, you don't have to put cheese in if you don't like cheese. So it's 25 grams of cheddar cheese, and I'm just grating that roughly into the burger mix. And that's it. There's no additives, there's no extras. If you like mustard, you could put a little bit of mustard in. If you wanted to put a little bit of chilli in to give it a bit of a kick, that's up to you. But generally, we're just making this a basic burger. Using one hand, you're going to mix all the ingredients together. Okay, and once you've started the ingredients start to mix into the mince, and we're not going to use an egg, we don't need to use an egg, you can start squeezing this together so that it comes together into a nice ball with all these ingredients in. Okay, so once you've got it all mixed in, what we're going to do is we're actually going to bake these burgers in the oven rather than frying them. This means we don't need to use an egg. So that reduces the fat content, but it also allows any fat to run off, and it also prevents the cookers getting covered with fat spitting left, right and centre. So once I've got myself a ball, I'm going to split it into 2 equal pieces, and then I'm just going to squeeze this together a bit longer just to get it so that it's sticking together. Okay, and get it into a ball. Then I'm going to use my baking tray, which has got greaseproof on it, and I'm going to flatten it actually on the tray. Now you can share trays at school, and then that way they'll cook at an even pace, especially in the gas cookers. Make sure that your burgers are the same thickness. Make sure that they are the same thickness from one side to the other, so that we don't have like a humpback whale in the middle of the burger. Okay, because the middle won't cook if you have it thicker than the outside, so it needs to be all the same thickness all the way through. Once you're happy with that, you can then wash your hands and put them into the oven. 180, see I'm showing you here the same thickness, 180 to 200 degrees centigrade depending on whether you've got a fan assisted oven. So wash your hands before you put this into the oven. Now I've washed my hands, I've cleaned everywhere down, the wonders of videos, and I've got my ingredients that are going to go on top of the burger. Okay, now we had some coleslaw left over from yesterday. We've got some salsa, we've got some guacamole, some cheese slices, but you can slice up cheddar cheese. It doesn't have to be these slices. The one that we've got here is like a smoked cheddar. I've also got some brioche buns. And again, you don't have to use a brioche bun. You can use one with sesame seeds on, or you can just use a plain white bun, or even a wholemeal bun. It's entirely up to you. You're going to be the one eating this. Okay. I'm going to take 2 slices of the cheese out because I'm going to put those on top of the burgers when they are nearly cooked so that the cheese melts onto the burger. Okay. Right. So just waiting for the burgers to cook now. Everywhere's been cleaned down. I'm going to test them now because they look cooked, but obviously we use the food probes. I want it to be 75 degrees centigrade in the centre. However, if it is around 73, 74 degrees centigrade, then I'm going to put my cheese on. So we're sort of hovering around the 73, 74. It's gone up to 75, but I've moved it around in the burger. So it's sort of hovering around the right temperature. Now this burger I've probed, not the other one, because it's just a bit bigger than the other one. I'm going to then put the cheese, because on top of the burgers, to melt, and then pop them back in the oven for a couple of minutes. In the meantime, while they're cooking, I've got my plate's been warmed through, and I'm going to start assembling. So I'm going to put some guac on the bottom, guacamole. And again, you don't have to eat this. If you don't like it, you don't like it. And then I'm going to put some salsa, so a little bit of spice on there. And then onto this, I'm going to put the cooked burgers with the melted cheese. So I'm just going to slide one off, pop that on the top. And then I think I might put something on top of this. I think maybe a little bit of salsa. No, we're going to have coleslaw. I'll put the coleslaw on. And then put the other burger on top. I'm not eating this, by the way. My partner's eating this. So put the burger on top, which might slide off. And there it goes. It does. Not to worry, because if this happens, we can get a cocktail stick and stick that in the middle of the burger to hold it all together. Okay, so I'll just reassemble it. All right. And before I move it to the table, I'm just going to pop a cocktail stick in it. Okay, so this is your final burger. This will be your final practical, and hopefully you'll be finished on time and you'll be able to eat it in the lesson. So I hope you enjoy and you use your own, think about colours and flavours and tastes.